Hey YouTubers, Mark here. Half deaf from going to one of the best punk show I've been to in a while. Take me out to the side. Sorry. Little Wilhelm scream. Uh, I'm just going to change gears from our normal topics and talk about something that's actually pretty near and dear to me, education. So, why am I talking about education? Two reasons. One, I want to be a nurse, and Candace wants to upgrade her nursing status. And two, this week, due to congressional inaction, student loan interest rates have doubled. Anyone want to favor a guess as to why we're the first generation not doing better than our parents? Here's the thing. I'm one of those crazy liberal idiots who believe that education is something that shouldn't be for just rich people. I believe, and stifle yourself before you call me a commie Marxist socialist Nazi, that everyone should get their education for little to no cost. I believe in equality of opportunity, not equality of results. So the whole socialism and communism thing doesn't really make sense now, does it? Then again, I don't think most of the people that call me that actually know what those words even mean. Allow everyone to do their thing, you know? See if they achieve. This will also allow people to choose careers and things they want to do rather than what's hiring for the biggest paycheck at the time. Healthcare! What was that? Currently, students who can afford to go to college, who aren't mega rich, mind you, graduate with larger debts than often their careers yield in income. So, yay! I graduated college and got my degree in something I love. Let's say music. Okay, well, you owe $80,000 to the government, so go find a job for your career. Are we still looking? Are we delivering pizza or working at McDonald's with your expensive degree? See, here in America, we call that progress for some reason. Now, can you buy a car? No. Can you buy a home? No. Can you contribute to the economy in any meaningful way after going and doing this life-changing and expensive training in order to pursue your career? Well, due to that expensive training, no. No, you can't. Am I missing something? Or shouldn't going to college to better yourself actually better yourself? I often am the one being told that I do take all the crazy pills, so apparently, yes, I'm the crazy, stupid Nazi, 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 Nazi. The thing is, this is further proof that it is more expensive to be poor than to be rich. Let me give you a scenario. I went to a college, let's use that term very lightly, to better myself years ago. Now, perhaps it is my fault for falling for their bullshit propaganda, but I was led to believe that when I graduate from this college as a medical biller, there would be jobs everywhere. I took a student loan out, bought books, and went on my way. Now, I'll ask you this. How many of your friends are medical billers? Exactly. Upon graduating, I had two offers that immediately fell through because I lacked experience. So then I found out I was more qualified to work as a receptionist in a doctor's office, more so than a medical biller. Medical receptionists basically get paid minimum wage, and that student loan is coming due. Fuck. So instead, I sucked it up and went back to school for a job that pays better, has better opportunity, but adds some ickiness to my career opportunities. That's being a nurse aide. Now, I do like my job, but at the time it scared me to be touching people and being hit and screamed at as I deal with their icky goos pouring out of them from every orifice. Which, that is kind of the job, but it's not entirely it. It was a lot better than I thought it was either way. But, in other words, it was the job that I needed to have, but not the job I wanted. Opportunity! But I owe more money now for school on top of what I already couldn't pay to make what may soon be under the proposed minimum wage Obama stated recently wanted to change it to. So I'd basically be making minimum wage if he changes it to that amount. So is that a step forward? Well, half a step, I guess. When it came time to make the leap to nurse, though, I found out that due to not enough of my student loans being paid, I can't draw more student loans to join a nursing program. And those colleges or courses are now more expensive than if I would have went years ago when I had even less money. And I'd have to work even less than I do now. Yeah. So I have to wait. But what about my plans, though? I'm married now. We want to have kids someday soon, but we're not comfortable enough financially to start a family. They get put off. Yay, fucking opportunity. So let's add this week into the equation. Now my loans are going to take even longer to pay off because I'll owe even more money due to raised interest. Good looking out, fellas. The saddest thing is, this may sound like a personal gripe, but it's not. I know plenty of people who went to college for a job they wanted, graduated, and work at some menial job to pay off the student loans for the degree that they don't even use. Now, we can blame this on the economy, but education plays a part in it too. Because with less money to put into the economy, due to higher and higher student loan debt, the economy gets worse. This is basic economics. Think back to high school, think back to your economics course that you probably didn't pay attention to. I actually paid a little bit of attention to it, not as much as I should have, but I studied a lot more on it after I graduated high school, and I can tell you that the basic fundamentals that we are no longer following in this country is supply and demand. Think about the last time you've heard supply side economics. Yeah, that's cutting taxes for the rich. Demand is at an all-time low though, and you need demand. I won't bore you with the details, but basically it amounts to this. People in my age group are graduating from college and moving back in with their parents because they can't find jobs that return their rate of debt from going to college. That's a harsh cycle. Does this relate to race though? Let's, because I mean that's the kind of the point of this channel. We talk a lot about race and everything. It does. The biggest driver of racial divides in any country is failing economy. Everyone has to have a person to blame, and it's usually someone who has nothing to do with it. In Germany, they had the Jews in post-World War One. They did. Look it up. That's actually what made Hitler's reign a lot easier was he was able to blame the Jews for all the economic problems that were actually more due to their role in World War One. In the south of this country, it was black people. Now it's Mexicans and Cubans and Muslims and black people. But the point remains the same. There needs to be someone to blame for our own problems. I'm a firm believer in this, but I think it has less to do with race, shocker, and more to do with status. This past week, I told my 14-year-old niece that when you're rich, you pay for nothing, but when you're poor, you pay for everything. This is true. Our food is more expensive. If we want to eat healthier, we have to pay for the more expensive food. If we don't do that, we end up paying more for our medical bills because we're less healthy. But to expand on this point, I know there's a few of you, who are just going to say, you waste your money. You just need to manage it better or get another job. Okay, so I make a little bit above minimum wage in a career that is cutting hours due to Medicare cuts. So we get our paychecks together. And I'll admit, it's mostly Candace's because, well, she's a nurse. I'm a nurse aide. So let's look at our bills. First, there's rent. Then there's electricity. Then we've got both of our cell phones, which I know people are going to say it's a luxury. It's not a luxury anymore because we use those to keep in touch with our jobs. It's like a house phone now, except because we're on the go all the time because of our jobs, we need our cell phones. Then we have our internet bill, which also sounds like a luxury, but isn't because my last two jobs I actually got via the internet. I keep in touch with my job via the internet. I keep track of my hours and my paychecks via the internet. Just about everything, except for the actual patient care. So that's not a luxury either. So get that out of your head. Insurance on two cars, both of which are lower level cars, which you think would mean that they are cheaper to maintain, except for, they're not. You think it would cost less to maintain them, but it doesn't. Because they're so inexpensive that it actually ends up costing more because they break down more and they're also a higher risk. So insurance is more expensive on them. Didn't really save any money there, did it? Then you add health insurance, dental insurance, vision, gas, and then finally groceries, because we all need to eat, don't we? And we're left with what? I won't tell you how much our bills are, but total is around way too much for how little we make. So it looks like more like what I have to use to save up for going back to school feels like this. Hmm. Yeah, this isn't gonna pay for school. So instead, I use that money to go get drunk because I'm depressed at how little money I have left. Yeah, do something to make yourself feel better, right? I just need to clarify this. We're not broke. We're not poor specifically either. But with the rate of pay that we make, we should be able to do a lot more than we actually can. Considering she's a nurse and I work a pretty decent job, that used to be a means for success. And back when I was born, making this amount of money that we both make would actually be excellent. We'd be able to start a family and then some, and also be able to look into pursuing our educations. But that's not the case today. But the thing is, this does have something to do with me personally, but it has more to do with everybody. I'm asking for one thing and one thing only: a change in priority. Education is important, and I believe in it. It's worked out well for family members and friends, but there's a huge downside to education in this country, and from all accounts, it's that we have to pay for it. In even the cheapest colleges, you're basically buying the amount of a new car every year you go. Education should be something earned through the hard work of being educated. It's not meant to be something with a profit motive. The return on investment is people returning what they learn to advance the country and world. That should be the motive. And how can you really argue with that? It costs too much. Deficit. Shut up. That being said, let's be the change we want to see in the world. In the meantime, I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to become a nurse. Hi, I'm Mark from A Different Color, and if you like this video, subscribe to us. I don't know where the buttons are, so just start clicking all over the place, except for the little thumbs down thing. Thumbs us up. Right up. And add us on Facebook of A Different Color. We'll provide all the links below. Add us on Twitter. Our Twitter has been barren and boring, and no one talks to us on it, and we don't really post on it either, although we should. Yeah, that's an issue. But yep, we'll be providing links to our Instagrams below. And let's see here. Did I miss anything? Uh, Here's a 360. Woo! Oh, sorry, I hit the cord.